Hello, today we're in Holyoke, Massachusetts on the third level canal. We're going to talk about the United Box Company and all its predecessors. And on the right is the Franklin Paper Company. There's two companies side by side here. It's at the outlet of the third level canal into the Connecticut River. And so we'll talk about the Franklin first. Came first, 1866, made by James Newton and his brothers to make paper. And the Franklin Paper Company was a very strong company, but they changed hands over into the friends of the Newton brothers called James Ramage. Right, and he ran it for many years. It's still used on the first two levels. Okay, now next to it is a company that came around 1870. Its name was the Connecticut River Paper Mill, and it was there side by side. It was opened up by a person named Henry Dickinson, who owned two other paper mills in Holyoke. And they made lots of wonderful high-grade paper out of there from 1870 to about 1896. And 1894, they joined forces by a company that was called Purcell Envelope, and they made the embossed envelopes for the United States Postal Service, which were very, very respect. All right, and then who came along next was Union Paper Company. All right, which was a union of the Connecticut River Paper Company and the Purcell. And then the Riverside Paper Company, Mill Number 1, which was an empty lot next to it, joined together, and they made that union company and bought it out. And then last year, United Folding Box Company came in, and the United Folding Box Company is still there, and they're still operating out of these two mills. All right, the mills are joined and backed by a modern building, and they made very elegant boxes where you could fold them up, and what they were like were holders of paper called papeteries, holders of envelopes. They could hold your jewelry, right, or hold anything that you wanted to have an elegant look to. All right, so what I'm going to do now for the last couple minutes is cross the street for you, and what I want to do is tell you about some of the properties over here. Okay, this is the third level canal in front of you. It's the last of the three canals. It's at lowest height of all. All right, you can see a big outlet into the Connecticut River where that train bridge is right there, and that leads almost all the water of the canal system out. Nowadays, more than ever, because there's less tunnels going below these mills. Now, you can see where the company had its power inlet tunnel right there. It's kind of boxed up now. It has a strainer in front, but it's not working. But they used to have a tunnel there that would go beneath the Franklin, and water would enter the engine room and fall down onto the turbine system, which would then move the belts, so forth. Now next to it, the Union, or the Connecticut Paper Mill, would do the same out of a tunnel there that is now cemented up. All right, you can see where the Riverside Mill Number 1 had their gigantic tunnel entrance right there. So it's a really cool system. Now these buildings are 154 years old for the Connecticut River Paper Company, and for the other ones, 158 years old. So that's an incredible amount of years these have been around. Now, pre-1870, any mill that came into Holyoke had to make worker housing. The mill on the left, the Connecticut River Paper Mill, didn't need to do that because it was from 1870. But the one next to it did, the Franklin. They had to make worker homes. And those worker homes were across the street. Some of them still exist. Right, so giving you a good scenery what's along the rest of the way here. Okay, you can see that there's mills back there that are part of the chemical and the Newton paper companies that still exist. So there was a lot down here at one point, and there still is, and it's still being used somewhat. Okay, you can get to see the Stone Arch Bridge there in the distance, a gorgeous bridge. All right, so it's a great operational system, and I hope you come to see it as part of the Holyoke Canal system itself. So thank you very much.